Transforming the Philippines into a major maritime nation entails long-term planning, implementing, and evaluating results of every program on a periodic basis. By virtue of Presidential Decree No. 474, the Maritime Industry Authority or the Marina is responsible for crafting a 10-year roadmap for the country's maritime industry and to be updated annually. But it was only under former Administrator Ray Leonardo Guerrero that the agency pursued aggressively the crafting of the MIDP through its inclusion in the 2018 Marina's 14-point agenda. The same was completed under the incumbency of Vice Admiral Narciso Vincent Jr. as officer in charge. After numerous scoping workshops and national public consultations, the Marina successfully presented and validated a 10-year MIDP to its stakeholders and consequently to the Marina Board on December 2018. The MIDP is a 10-year roadmap of the Marina for the Philippine maritime industry. It was guided by the Philippine Development Plan for 2017 to 2022, Ambition Natin 2040, Sustainable Development Goals 2030, and other similar international maritime commitments of the Philippine government. These plans were anchored on inclusivity and sustainability for positive change, specifically to make the Philippines a nation of stable families forming resilient communities. The MIDP works on accelerating the achievement of a nationally integrated and globally competitive maritime industry through developing and supporting an organizational culture and practice of leading in maritime education, innovation, technology, and sustainability. To achieve this from 2019 to 2028, the Marina shall be guided by these objectives in the implementation of the 10-year roadmap. With these objectives, the Marina came up with 8 priority programs to cover all significant aspects of the Philippine maritime sector. Priority Program Number 1, Upgrading of Domestic Shipping in Support of the Nautical Highway Development. This program enhances the road roll-on roll-off terminal system and promotes the modernization of the domestic vessels to safely and efficiently transport people, goods, and services across the country. On February 2019, the Marina opened 90 new RoRo missionary routes to encourage shipping companies to serve RoRo-capable ports with no existing operations due to geographic limitation or lack of market viability. They are offered with a 5-year protection of investments and 50% discounts on the regular fees of all applications and renewal of ship documents, licenses, certificates, and permits. Priority Program Number 2, Development of Shipping Services for Maritime Tourism. The Marina supports the Department of Tourism in promoting the Philippines as a regional cruise center in Asia. As a matter of fact, the agency encourages shipping companies to acquire and operate cruise ships in the country to advance the local maritime industry. With this, the Marina guarantees that only those cruise ships that are 20 years old or younger will be accredited to uphold maritime safety and environmental protection. Priority Program Number 3, Development of Coastal and Inland Waterways Transport System. This initiative is the first of its kind in the maritime sector. The Marina shall develop this transport system to enhance the navigability and quality of the existing coastal and inland waterways, all to improve the connectivity of the Philippine Islands. Priority Program Number 4, Strengthening of Safety Standards of Philippine-Registered Fishing Vessels. With this program, the Marina shall implement improved operational safety standards guided by the International Maritime Organization and increase the competency of fishing crew through safety standards and equipment available on board. Priority Program Number 5, development of a global maritime hub. The Marina envisions the Philippines as a central point for the accumulation and distribution of cargoes for international trade, a maritime park for seagoing ships, and a home for globally competitive seafarers, manning and leading domestic and internationally flagged vessels. All of this will be made possible through the establishment of the Philippines' first ever global maritime hub. Priority programs number 6 and number 7 are complementary initiatives for the enhancement of the maritime safety and maritime security in the Philippines. The Marina shall craft and implement a comprehensive safety and security plan for all Philippine-registered vessels, ports, and shipyards to reduce, if not completely eradicate, the loss of lives and properties at sea, as well as maritime accidents caused by criminality and terrorism. Above all, this is to promote a safe and secure culture in the maritime industry. Last but not least is the establishment of the Maritime Innovation and Knowledge Center. This is going to be a place to innovate and operate modern technologies, as well as support and apply best practices in the maritime affairs. The 10-year roadmap needs 94.6 billion pesos for its implementation. 94% or 88.9 billion pesos of which shall be generated from the private sector, while the 6% or 5.7 billion pesos shall be funded by the government. The Marina believes that having a nationally integrated and globally competitive maritime industry will be possible through cooperation of all stakeholders, including maritime-related government agencies, the private sector, the Filipino seafarers, and the public. And with all of them working together in the implementation of the 10-year MIDP, the Philippines shall become a strong and dynamic maritime nation.
Activity 1. Why do you wish to take up sea career? 2. Enumerate 10 job opportunities in the maritime industry. 3. Define the shipyards that are operating in the Philippines. 4. Why are seaports important? 5. Give at least 5 duties and responsibilities of marine surveyor. 6. Define the different types of marine surveyor. 7. What are main features and operation ports? 1.2. Discuss the BIMCO ICS Manpower Report 2015. What is BIMCO ICS Manpower Report 2015? The Manpower Report is a comprehensive update on the global manpower situation in the shipping industry prepared by BIMCO and ICS. The report aims to provide an estimate of the balance between the global supply of qualified and competent seafarers available for service on ships trading internationally, and the industry's demand for seafarers to operate the world merchant fleet. Details about the composition of the supply of seafarers that operates the world merchant fleet, including their nationalities, rank, role, age profiles and gender, and the anticipated future growth of the world merchant fleet over the next 10 years and its possible impacts on the global manpower situation. Estimated 5 largest seafarer supply countries. 1.3 Explain the benefits in a shipping career. A. High wages. Pay is a big factor for cruise ship employees. If you found yourself wondering how much you can earn and how much you can save while working on a cruise ship, you're not alone. Here we discuss in greater detail some of the earning potential and pay-related issues that cruise ship employees commonly ask about. The pay you can earn by working on a cruise ship is largely determined by your position. There are, however, a number of other factors that can contribute to your earnings. The size of the ship, the type of ship, the clientele, the cruise liner, tips earned and your job experience will all affect your earning potential. It is true that compensation can vary greatly from cruise line to cruise line. However, on large lines, staff and entry-level positions such as aerobics instructors, youth counselors, junior purser, disc jockeys, and hosts, will receive an industry standard wage around $1,200 to $1,500 per month. Casino workers, waiters, and bartenders depend heavily on tips, which can sometimes double salaries. B. Tax exemption. Advantages. The money, depending on your nationality. For many nationalities, your salary is tax-free, and the amount people earn is often more than what they can make back home. A Filipino, for example, coming in at the very lowest level, a facilities cleaner with no tips, will make twice the average salary of a college graduate in their home country. A good stateroom attendant or waiter can make 5-6 times that amount after a couple of years. See expense-free travel, accommodation, and food. crew living conditions on a cruise ship. It's true that accommodations are sometimes cramped, especially on smaller vessels, but the ship's company is generally interesting and friendly. Many people compare it to their first year in a college dorm, without the homework. On the larger cruise ships, most employees share cabins on one of the crew decks, and some people, especially the crew staff, actually have living quarters in the plush passenger areas. Although some employees get single cabins, these are usually reserved for crew staff with more seniority. Employees are usually separated by department. D. Meet people of different culture, learn different languages. The international nature of cruise ship cruise. Although there's no denying the fantastic travel opportunities, there's also something to be said about the wonderful experience of meeting a variety of people and making new friends. Most people who work on cruise ships speak of an instant rapport between crew leading to lasting friendships. According to one cruise ship employee, it wasn't the beach scene that held her interest, but her many new friends. One of the many interesting aspects of life on cruise ships is the incredible diversity of the crew. Because of the international nature of cruise travel and registry laws, staff members come from all over the world.
So we'll start with BIMCO. BIMCO stands for the Baltic and International Maritime Council. It was established in 1905 in Copenhagen as the world's largest and most diverse private shipping organization. The objective of BIMCO was to unite the shipping interest and pursue the issues that affected its members. BIMCO has consistently managed to be both flexible and supportive of its member interests, capable of proactive action and responding quickly to new priorities in a fast-changing maritime environment in an often uncertain and unpredictable world. BIMCO membership spans more than 125 countries now and includes more than 2,600 companies. Owner members alone control 65% of the world's merchant fleet, while 1,500 or more than 1,500 brokers and agents and 100 club associate members complete the BIMCO international coverage. BIMCO is one of the leading interest groups and membership organizations that offer practical and tangible services to ship owners, managers, brokers, agents, operators, associations, and other entities that are closely associated with the shipping industry. The aim of BIMCO is that of free trade, access to markets, trade facilitation and harmonization, promotion of safety and quality and security. BIMCO focus is on promotion of high shipping standards and support of existing measures to ensure quality shipping, as well as the standardization of regulations and a worldwide implementation regime. Membership in BIMCO is open to companies involved in all sectors of shipping.
Today is the first episode of my Ship Life series, and we're going to talk about cruise ship in general. So the reason why I'm filming this series is because I believe that this is worth sharing and it's an interesting journey. And I've got interesting stories to tell you guys, and I want to be able to help you out if you want to work in the same industry. And some of you send me questions, so we're gonna answer your questions along the way. And I have a note with me here just in case I forget about the things that I need to talk about. Also, just a little disclaimer: I'm not paid by my company to do this, to say all these things. These are all based from my experience. So I've just started working on a cruise ship, so I've only had 2 contracts with different companies. I started out with an Asian cruise line, and now I'm working on a road cruise. I only had 1 contract at an Asian cruise line, and I just finished 1 contract with my current company. So yeah, what's my job? I am part of the entertainment department, entertainment team. I'm technically an entertainer. We also call it crew staff. Other companies call it differently. So basically, we are the life of the ship, entertainment. So we are in charge of the overall activities on board. My job involves a lot of dancing, hosting, organizing. So we have different games, game shows, parties, themed parties. My job involves a lot of guest interaction, so we are in charge from the moment the guests embark until they disembark. So we are also doing embarkation, disembarkation. We meet, interact with guests all the time. Guys, I'm sorry about the background noises. I can't control the neighbors. I'm just chilling here in my bedroom with my iced coffee. So that's my job. I think I'm gonna do more in-depth description about my job on the next series if you're interested. Now, how about the contract? So generally, working on board, you work on an average of 11 hours per day. But I'm fortunate with my job. Most of the time, less than that. I work less than that. Sometimes it's very rare, but sometimes we work above that. Depends on the seasons. We also have different seasons. We have Caribbean, which is like American market. We have English market, South African season. We have Mediterranean. We have Northern Europe. So different. Minimum of 7 months for Filipinos, at least. It varies depending on your country of origin or depending on your nationality. But for us Filipinos, minimum of 7 months with this company. So it's a contractual job. So after contract, you go on vacation and then wait for your next assignment and then go to another ship. We work every single day for the rest of the contract. My schedule is shit because I basically work a whole day every single day for the rest of the contract, at least 7 months. I work in the morning, afternoon, evening, most of the time, and it's every day. So we don't have day off, guys. Imagine working straight for at least 7 months. It's very tiring. When you start working, your energy is so high. But then when I reach my 5th month, it starts to go down. Salary, I want to talk about this topic separately. I would just say salary is way better than working here in the Philippines. Free accommodation, free food while on board, and your job is basically 2 minutes, 5 minutes away from your station. So you don't really need to use transportation. Kung magaling ka sa pera, if you're a good saver, you will be able to save more money compare if you're working on a land base, especially in the Philippines. Now, how did I get here? Why am I working on a cruise ship? I love traveling. I'm so passionate about traveling. Meeting people, learning culture, learning different languages. Ever since I was a little girl, I know that I want to travel the world one day. I dreamt about snow, Eiffel Tower, mountains, and now I'm 25 and fulfilling these dreams, and I'm just happy and very grateful that I get to see this incredible, beautiful, amazing places mostly for free. And if you haven't seen my previous video, I made a video about my 2019 and I've seen 19 beautiful, incredible countries in 7 months. Guys, 7 months. We are here in Germany. Guys, this is so cool. I have never seen anything like this before. Welcome to Iceland. Wow, are you kidding me? This is like the most beautiful city I have ever seen. It's crazy beautiful. Today we are in Olden, Norway. It's so freaking beautiful here. I'm so fortunate because my first contract in the company, the first ship that I had my contract, they had an amazing itinerary for the entire year, so I was able to see the transition between different seasons. Northern Europe, Mediterranean, and South African season. They are very different seasons, and it's so nice. Like different people, different personality, different culture, different places. It's fascinating. It's amazing. I can't even explain to you guys. And I thought it's a great opportunity to grow as a person. How was the experience? How is it working in the middle of the sea? Is it hard? Is it worth it? Is it lonely? Now, every time people ask me this, I would always answer, it's very challenging, but it's fulfilling. It's a tough job working in the middle of the sea. It's really hard. You're away from family, you're away from home, you're away from your comfort zone, you're away from the usual, but it's fulfilling because it makes you grow as a person and you realize you can do things that you thought you could never do before. You become more of yourself. You improve, you grow, you learn new things, you learn new skills, you become independent, you become mature. Ship life is It's like a different world. Totally different world. We have our own rules.
So this is what the corridor looks like.
You forget about holidays, you forget about birthdays, special occasions. You won't be able to celebrate those occasions physically with your loved ones because you're isolated in the middle of the sea. But of course, everything has pros and cons. You have to be tough, you have to be strong, you have to be physically and mentally healthy because sometimes it gets lonely. I'm not gonna lie. Because you're away from home, you're away from your family, from your partner. In short, that being able to be physically present with your loved ones. If you have the same dreams, you might want to consider working on a cruise ship, but you have to be really tough. And now the application process, how did I get here? You can go directly to the direct hiring company or you can go via agency. With the direct application, you go directly to the website, official website of the company you want to work with, and then you submit your resume, do the online application and stuff like that, so they will directly hire you. No agency involved with the hiring interview process. But if you're in the Philippines, you will still go through an agency, well, the company's agency in the Philippines, to do all the things before, like pre-departure requirements and stuff like that. But it's still direct hiring. The other one is through agencies. So here in the Philippines, we have a lot of agencies. We have Magsaysay, we have Bishop, and we have a lot more. Some accept walk-in, where you submit your resume physically. You go to the agency and physically submit your resume, or you can apply also online, but to the agency. Online opening, like on Facebook, social medias, advertisements, and stuff like that. These positions are open. Submit your resume online, and then wait for further instructions.
The shipbuilding industry stands out from the other industries in the aspect that it is not based on unit production. So what does that mean? Let us explain. For example, in the automobile industry, cars of a particular model or design are produced on an assembly line since every product of a certain design is similar to the other. But ships are not constructed this way. Every ship is based on the owner's requirement. Hence, even if the basic hull design may be the same, the dimensions, capacity, and systems used in one ship may be very different from another. The shipbuilding process is generally divided into a sequence, which we will see in this video. But before that, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon. Procurement of material. After the contract has been signed between the client and the shipyard and the detailed design has been carried out, the materials specified by the design is procured by the tendering department of the shipyard. The detailed design already specifies the type of materials required for each part of the hull, the thicknesses, and the grade of steel. Stowage of plates. Once the steel plates are procured by the shipyard, they are stored in the stockyard. Plates of different thicknesses and grades are available in standard dimensions. There are usually two positions of stowing plates: vertical stowage and horizontal stowage. Many modern shipyards carrying out multiple projects also practice methods of plate stowage scheduling at the same time. In this method, each plate is marked with the project it has been designated to, and they are stored in an order that is synchronous with the working schedule or the master plan of the shipyard. Plate preparation or surface preparation. When a plate is brought to the shipyard from a steel plant, it is not ready to be used for construction. Hence, it needs to be prepared for the same. This includes two major processes: straightening and removal of residual stress. The plate obtained by rolling in the steel plant is not completely straight, though it may visually appear to be so. Plates may also be mangled during transit from plant to shipyard. Hence, the straightening is carried out once the plate reaches the shipyard. Priming and drying. The plate is passed into a chamber in which a primer is sprayed on complete surface. Priming protects the steel from corrosion. The primer applied is usually a zinc-rich coating, and it should be chosen such that it does not interfere with the welding and bending of plates. Plate cutting. The surface treated plates are to be cut into desired shapes and size in order to be developed to the required three-dimensional shape or used as straight plates for other structural components. Plate bending. A ship's hull usually has multiple curvatures, unless only straight plates are used in the design. It might seem quite easily achievable on a 3D modeling software package, but production of the same is a complex process. Special methods are used by the shipyard to bend and develop steel plates and stiffeners to require 3D curvatures in order to make them fit the shape of the hull. Assembly. Once the plates and frames are prepared and given the required shape, they are welded according to the structural drawings prepared by the design department of the shipyard. The hull is divided longitudinally into blocks, and each block is again divided into assemblies and sub-assemblies. During the shipbuilding process, each ship block is brought to the building dock, where they are erected with cranes as per the welding sequence. After each erection, welding is carried out on block joints. Improvement in alignment are made by use of proper jigs for curved shell panels, by using laser alignment tools, and by use of proper welding techniques that have lower heat input. Most of the machinery, especially those which are bigger in size, are fitted during this process. The ship is ready from the outside and is then painted using anti-fouling paints to reduce hull corrosion and resistance. Launching. Many big shipyards now construct ships on building docks, which are then flooded, and the ship is towed out to the outfit basin by using tugs. But most shipyards still follow the traditional process of launching a ship. Today, launching methods have become safer and more proactive in approach as computer programs helps the engineers to estimate the load on the ship during launch. Outfitting. After launching, the ship is berthed in a fitting out basin for completion. The main machinery, together with auxiliaries, piping systems, deck gear, lifeboats, accommodation equipment, plumbing systems, and rigging are installed on board, along with whatever insulation and deck coverings are necessary. Sea trials. Once all the construction and outfitting work is completed, the sea trials are carried out by the shipyard authority in the presence of designated representative of the ship's owner and ship surveyor. Some tests include ship trials, turning circle test, crash stop test, zigzag or camp overshoot maneuver, spiral maneuver, engine trials, and astern test. Shipbuilding is a complicated process which involves several departments working together to build a vessel which is not just seaworthy but is also equally efficient in terms of both operations and economics.